Hello, Noble Middle School, and this is me doing my homework. This is to show you that I am not a complete fool. Let's start. Today, I will be doing my current event on smoking unfortunately not a good combination.
I mean, you just don't listen to me every day, you know?
Let's start, shall we?
It was just amazing. Whoever this man was saved me, whether it was a spirit or an angel, I was just very grateful. Hey, can you pick me up? My friend came to pick me up, and as soon as I got in the car, I had to tell him about this phantom truck driver that saved me from the heat of the day. I told him about it just disappearing in thin air, how he picked me up, how he knew my name, how clean the cab was. I went through the whole story, and he looked at me and said, "You have just experienced the I-4 dead zone."
Susie is lucky. Most stories from the I-4 dead zone don't have a happy ending. And whether people believe in the legend or not, it seems everyone has something to say about that stretch of I-4.
I've heard about the I-4 dead zone, and I've just heard nothing but traffic accidents. Going into that area, it's a horrible high bridge going over the river, and it just seems to be a lot of chaos and confusion around there.
So in 2004, when construction is set to disrupt the graves once again, residents who believe in the curse prepare for the worst. And that's exactly what legend says is the reason for what happens next.
On August the 13th, 2004, Friday the 13th to be exact, there was a new approach ramp being built, right there where the graves were at. As soon as construction started, I knew we were in for trouble. And sure enough, the first hurricane of the season hit the I-4 dead zone.
And this time, it's Hurricane Charlie that comes barreling up the Florida coast, and it plows a deadly path right over top the I-4 dead zone.
So the legend of I-4 is particularly interesting in terms of legends about weather, because the technology says a hurricane is coming and we expect it to follow this particular path, but it actually veers off course and goes directly over this point. And now it's here is added proof to a legend. So science doesn't remove our interest or need for legends. In some cases, it can actually support them.
Hurricane Charlie was a nasty storm. It was one of the worst days of my life. The wind speeds kicked up to more than 125 knots in a matter of 3 hours. It was blowing up. It wasn't getting a lot bigger. It was just getting meaner and faster. People would call it the I-4 hurricane because it followed the I-4 track even closer to the Hurricane Donna had. The damage was extensive. Instead of being a huge, widespread area like Donna was, Hurricane Charlie was a little small ball of hate. The eye of that storm was really, really small, so you only had those Category 1 winds in about a 10-mile radius. So as that thing came through Central Florida, most of the damage was in that 10-mile swath. And that 10-mile swath was right along the I-4 corridor. It ended up being the second most expensive hurricane ever. Totals ended up being about $15 billion.
For Sanford locals, Hurricane Charlie is one more chilling link to the I-4 dead zone legend. And the destruction left in Charlie's wake is so massive, it's almost
So I will be doing it.
Now we've got 2 hurricanes, and they both hit during disruption of these graves. That is a little bit more than coincidence, I believe.
Now at Boston Market, new slow-braised pulled pork. So tender, it falls apart. Topped with zesty barbecue or garlic citrus sauce. A bold new taste from the slow roasting experts at Boston Market.
640 hours. One tasty dish. Slow-braised pulled pork. Now at Boston Market.
The termite swarm has come. Enter the Legion of Terminus with 85 years of experience and the strongest guarantee in the business. Sorry, termites. You gotta steal tomorrow. Not here. Not now. Not in my house. Terminus.
One of the Foot's favorite rituals happens at the water's edge. Yeah, they must look their best. Smooth, beautiful skin is an advantage. The others can only hide in shame. Introducing the new Dr. Scholl's Dream Walk Express Penny. Not like...
Correction. Missy can date whoever she wants.
We have to settle this.
I agree. Sheldon's sister is hiding at Penny's because we've all been hitting on her at the same time.
She's not hiding.
She needed privacy to call her grandmother was apparently very sick. Well, then I believe she just wash her hair.
Oh, you poor deluded bastard.
Don't start with me, dude.
You want to go again? Let's go.
Sit down. Okay. We're gonna fight over Missy. Let's do it the right way. The honorable way. Ow! 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 Take that! Oh, ow! You want some more? Ow! Easy down! Oh, come on, get out! Stay down, bitch!
That is difficult. Oh, stop her.
That's just select chair work. A week for humanity. Excuse me, while I go tell Missy the good news.
Oh, my stomach hurts so damn bad.
Hey, Leonard.
Oh, hi, Penny, how's it going? Listen, that guy Mike that you were dating, is that still going on?
Pretty much. What?
Nothing, just catching up. By the way, may I speak to Missy, please?
Of course. Oh, Leonard, what's up?
Well, since you're leaving tomorrow, I was wondering if you'd like to go to dinner with me.
That's so sweet. But no thanks.
Oh. You have other plans, or?
No.
Oh. All right, enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thanks. See ya. What do you want, Howard?
I'm fine, thanks for asking. I've come to call on Missy.
Missy! Hi, Howard.
The amazing Howard. Do you like magic?
Not really, no.
Then you are in for a treat. Behold, an ordinary cane.
No.
Go.
Missy!
Thank you. I appreciate. Please. Please. Uh-oh.
Oh, honey, is your medication wearing enough?
Well, hi, cutie pie. I was hoping you'd show up.
Cohen's on tonight at 11 on TBS with Rob Lowe. And here's Conan at the American Girl Store.
This dog will sleep here, right? And what if this dog wakes up in the night and this dog is staring at her? And this one's saying, it's time. You are one of the chosen.
It's damaged everything in its path.
Even meteorologist Tom Sorrells can't help but compare this hurricane with that of Hurricane Donna.
Donna went right along what would be the I-4 corridor. 40 years later, here comes Hurricane Charlie. On the night of August 12th, Hurricane Charlie was south of Cuba. Most of the forecast had it coming across Cuba, going a little farther out to the Gulf of Mexico, and then weaving back into the Tampa area. But that's not what happened. The next morning, the storm tore right through the tip of Cuba, and instead of going to the Gulf of Mexico, it kind of hooked a little to the right, almost due north and then to the right into southwest Florida, right over central Florida, right through Orlando, right over top of Stanford, and the field of death.
Now we've got two hurricanes that hit the same place. And they both hit during the construction that was causing disruption of these graves. That is a little bit more than coincidence, I believe.
Whether people believe the hurricanes are tied to the disturbance of the graves is still a matter of discussion today.
Most legends survive because at the end of the day, we can say, all right, we have some new scientific theories that might explain this, but it doesn't mean it does explain it. And so there's always that piece that says, no, it's still too strange. It still doesn't make sense for why that hurricane veered to the left or veered to the right when, hurricanes typically don't do that over this kind of atmospheric pressure or this kind of land.
I really do think that people have always had a tendency to try to explain what can't be explained. A lot of the myths about weather and thoughts about weather occur because people are looking for a cause, when really it's just a coincidence. In my scientific mind, any hurricane has more to do with the atmosphere versus on the ground.
But on the ground is where the stories are handed down, and a town develops its character.
Legends make for a richer telling of history, how we view our culture and the things that frighten us, the things that intrigue us. Sanford has its legends just like any other place that's part of how people came here, how they survived here. Folklore is an integral part of human culture.
And the I-4 Dead Zone legend is an integral part of Sanford's town history and the lives of the people who call it home.
My roots are there. There's buried history there. It's important that we remember that what we see as asphalt and interstate today, there's a story beneath that, long before there was even any motor cars for an interstate. People like a ghostly legend like this. But beyond that, it's important that we preserve this history, that we continue to carry these people's story forward. They're not to be forgotten. Every time I drive through there, I pay my respects to those founding family members that are buried there who died back in 1887. Knock on wood, it's kept me safe all of these years.
Legend has it that in one tiny beach town, a dead man comes back to life when a storm rolls in.
The skies start getting darker, the winds start picking up, and it goes downhill very, very quickly.
And once the Green Man arrives, one thing is for sure, destruction is soon to follow.
We know that his appearance means that it's time to leave.
His message is clear, and his presence is alarming.
I can't say the hair stood up on my head because I don't have any, but it did stand up.
I'm almost done.
After haunting these shores for centuries, his story lives on in infamy.
Ever since the 1800s, the Gray Man has been on the lips of people in tandem with hurricanes in Follies Island.
Along the coast of South Carolina's Low Country, and just 70 miles south of Charleston, lies the sleepy little beach town of Follies Island, where a shadowy spirit that locals call the Gray Man has endured for centuries.
Every time a storm comes, you always start to hear about the Gray Man again. I don't want to see the Gray Man because that means bad news for the area.
I do know a family that has seen him back years back. They have definitely said that he was real
and they saw him.
There is no shortage of gray man stories on Polly's Island, so folks around here are always on their toes.
I would try to run. And if you see me run, then you know I'm scared, because I'm not going to do a lot of running.
Full of supernatural lore, ghost sightings come with the territory of this enchanted island.
We have more ghost stories in this little area than just about anywhere on the East Coast. But it is one of the most haunted places.
Local author Elizabeth Hunsinger has spent years documenting these tales and knows that dreaded encounters with the Gray Man go hand in hand with nature's deadly wrath.
Any sighting of the Gray Man around Polly's Island is legendary. And the one that I tend to think is the most significant goes way back. In October of 1954, a young newlywed couple were spending their honeymoon on Polly's Island. It was their first night together as husband and wife.
What is it?
At 5 o'clock in the morning, they didn't expect anyone to be knocking at the door, particularly since this was October, an off-season for Polly's Island. The man walked down the stairs and answered the door. He saw a man, a stranger, in Crumple's grave, with his facial features obscured by a gray hat. He said that he could smell the salt of the ocean on the man's clothing. The groom stood there and saw him disappear before his very eyes.
Okay, I'm done. I will see you in school. Bye. This is an AIRBEAR200 production. Bye.